If you really believe people shouldn't use credit cards, why does your website take credit cards? Morgan, obviously you're an idiot because there's a couple of things you underestimated by trolling my Facebook page with your hypocritical innuendo. The thing you didn't understand about me is I am not your typical person that's on the air. I'm a hillbilly. And when you insult a hillbilly's honor and integrity, we get pissed off. And hillbillies don't do drive-by shootings. We buy the house next door to you and lay siege. So you need to understand, you little twit, with your digital courage and your, obvious slight of my integrity, that number one, you're an idiot. Number two, you don't know what you're talking about. My website does not take credit cards. We very clearly take debit cards. It would be hypocritical for us to take credit cards. Now, can you run a credit card through our website system? Possibly. It could probably happen with the software. I don't know. But we have clear signage up that says, don't do that, you fool. And that we're not hypocrites. So, if you really want to find some excuse to not do the stuff we're talking about, Morgan, there's lots of excuses. But my lack of integrity is not on the list. Because we are exactly who we say we are. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars because I do the stuff we talk about. My wife still has a freaking envelope system in her purse. We do not take credit cards. We do not borrow money. I had a guy ask me this morning. I was in a meeting. He goes, hey, my wife's a teacher up in Gallatin, Tennessee. She heard you leased your truck. And I'm like, oh, jeez. What kind of idiot would I be to go lease a truck? And what kind of moron at a car dealership actually tells somebody that Dave Ramsey leased his car? I mean, that's you have to be beyond stupid to think that I would lease a car. I mean, seriously. But everybody, here's what it is. You don't want to grow up. You don't want to live on less than you make. You don't want to get on a budget. You don't want to agree on your spending with your spouse. You don't want to stop spending like you're in Congress. You don't want to quit being a little twit, and so you try to find something inconsistent about me. Listen, if you don't want to do the stuff we teach, I'm okay. I still got financial peace. You just go on your merry, stupid little way. I'm fine if you don't want to do the stuff we teach, whoever you are. If you're insulted or you don't like my politics or I don't have enough hair or you got a face for radio or whatever, you can find a reason to not follow Dave Ramsey. There's lots of them. You're too angry. You're not mean enough. You're too Christian. You're not Christian enough. There's always a reason to not do this stuff if you want an excuse to not fix your life. But that's all it is, darling. You're just being a little twit. And you're this generation that has what we call digital courage. You no more would walk into the lobby of this building and say something stupid butt like that to my face than fly to the moon. And if you did, then we would help you leave the building quicker than your feet might carry you. So, unbelievable. But you don't have that kind of courage. You're just a little spineless little boy living in his mother's basement. And so go on social media with your little opinion. The hating on Dave Twitter section of the world, and occasionally pull up mean tweets to be read by me. And so we do a segment called Dave Reads Mean Tweets, which we stole from somebody like Jimmy Kimmel or somebody like that does that. That's somebody that's cool. So, but it is kind of funny, and it's, you people are characters, some of you. So Frank says on Twitter, my wife was explaining what Lent is to our 6-year-old and why she gave up sweets. Immediately, she said, I want to give up Dave Ramsey. So you could give up Dave Ramsey for Lent. That's good. Matthew, seriously, though, having Dave Ramsey in your zombie survivor group would be awful. Quote, enough about savings accounts, Dave. There aren't no more banks. Yeah, I'm worried about being in your zombie survival group. trying to work with real life zombies, trying to get some of them to come back around to the land of the living again. Zoe says, no, I don't want to listen to Dave Ramsey talk. Sorry, not sorry. We'll change the channel, darling. Kimmy says, Dave Ramsey's voice is too smooth and it rubs me the wrong way. Is that not paradoxical or contradictory? I mean, if it's smooth, how would it rub you the wrong way? That's weird. So, I mean, it's like if it was rough, it would do that. That's funny. Okay, cute. Oh, this one's great. Ray says, Dave Ramsey makes me want to shove 3,000 needles in each of my eyes. This is the same kind of person that burns their own neighborhood to protest. Why are you putting needles in your eyes? 3,000 of them because of me. So strange. Oh, and the fun ones are this. If you don't know, we're now in 33% of the high schools with our Foundations in Personal Finance high school curriculum. And that means we've just graduated our 2 millionth high school senior. And so part of my Twitter feed is this hilarious banter back and forth with these high school students sitting in class that apparently have no idea that other people can see Twitter other than them. And they use it like instant message or something. They're so, some of them are so technologically inept. Now, others are very nice and say some nice things too, but this is a mean tweets segment, so we're not going to talk about those. So Serena is obviously one of those students. And I got in trouble when they first started trashing me. I thought they were like adults trashing me, and I would mess with them on Twitter. And then I got like little teenagers got Twitter abused because of me, and then I had to quit doing that because I found out I was a kid. I got this kid Twitter killed. So this is like, crashed. All right, so Serena says, Mr. Bland loves talking about Dave Ramsey. Literally, who is Dave Ramsey? There you go. Kara says, personal finance is listening to Dave Ramsey for an hour and a half, and I don't think I can do it today. I think somebody skipped class. Looking. Alexandra, I'm 2 minutes in, and Dave Ramsey makes me want to hang myself. Well, maybe you could tag team with the girl with the 3,000 needles in her eyes since you're into self-destruction due to listening to Dave Ramsey. This is great. Stacy says, Dave Ramsey's great, but you should read about good debt versus bad debt if you want to understand wealth. There you go. Ken says, why do evangelicals love Dave Ramsey? Time to return to sola scriptura. #Jesus. Now, I got to tell you, I've read the Bible most of my life, my adult life anyway, and I've studied a lot. I am so dumb, I did not know what that meant. I'll be authentic and just tell you the truth. I had to go look it up. Did you know what that meant? Either one of y'all know what sola scriptura? Did you? You did? You had to look it up? No, you'd heard of it. I'd heard of it, but I had to go. It just means that Scripture is the supreme rule. That if it's not in Scripture, that all doctrine should come from Scripture. Which, sure. So how's that inconsistent with me? I didn't tell you to do something that wasn't scriptural. Everything we do, I mean, we often talk about what's in the Bible when it says about money. So that's weird. But I mean, I guess guys like Ken, they probably don't have a car. Because car's not in Scripture. And you can't have a bike either. You got to walk, Ken. Because not in Scripture. And insurance, it's not in Scripture. Second hesitations covers whole life versus term. So, what kind of doofus is this? But he throws out stuff like sola scriptura. Yeah. So, what'd you say? Say it again. Twitter's not in Scripture, and you're using it, Ken. There you go. That's good, Kelly. I like that. That's even better. That's funny. Leslie, fun fact. Dave Ramsey has blocked me on Twitter for criticism. Oh, that happens a lot. If you think I am on Twitter in order to put up with your crap, you're confused. I'll help you with that. Block, block, block. Just like that. I don't hesitate. And so, you think you're going to take me to task on something on Twitter? I don't know you, little round red egg person. You don't even have the guts to put like your real name on there with all your digital courage. So block. And even if you do have your name and your stuff on there and you start cussing at me or you start going, you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I'm not taking a poll on Twitter, you guys. It's not what it's for me. I'm using it to communicate ideas to you and have some conversations with you. But it's not where it's not like I'm going to get in some kind of debate with 140 characters with you and I don't even know who you are. So you want to start that crap, block, just like that. I just block them. And thousands are blocked, thousands. And you start cussing, you start dropping F-bombs and stuff, Twitter feed, block. I'm not reading that stuff. I don't want that crap in my brain. So you're done. You're done. That's it. So, Leslie, I don't want to bother you or anything, but you're really not that special. I've blocked a lot of people. So you're on a very long list. and they just added the mute button, which is not as much fun as blocking because they don't know you blocked them then. You just muted them. So I'd rather them know. It's more fun to tell you got unfriended on Twitter. Well, that's a Facebook term, I know. All right, last one of the mean tweets reads, Dave Ramsey sounds like the evil bear off of Toy Story 3.
With destiny.
Oh, he's got a southern accent. I didn't know what the bear sounded like. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I do kind of sound like that. That's pretty good. That's actually funny. Sort of. In a weird, mean sort of way. Dave Ramsey sounds like the evil bear off of Toy Story 3. That was my goal. So everyone that has a southern accent sounds like the evil bear on Toy Story 3. Well, there you go, folks. One of the more popular segments. I have no idea why, but those were pretty good. I wouldn't call it. There's a couple of those are A's, but they're mainly B's, and there's a few C's in there. Y'all were really reaching. There's not a lot of good hate out there because I blocked them all.
Back.
I know.
Yeah, once school gets going.
Yeah, when school gets going, we'll just do one devoted to high school. Yeah, there was one or two on there this morning, but you probably could. You can't read those with all that those cuss words in there. So yeah, I mean, you kiss your mother with that mouth, Junior. I mean, really, nasty. So yeah, parents, you ought to follow your children's Twitter feeds. Teachers, you ought to follow your students' Twitter feeds. You would discover things about you that you had no idea that they say. And you would discover apparently Kara's skipping class. Y'all didn't even know she's skipping class. Smoking in the girls' room, There you go. So we should have played that song to go with that. Y'all don't even know that. You're not old enough to. Smoking in the boys' room. It wasn't girls' room, but it was Kara, so I changed it. You would know. Yeah. Nah, yeah. View's favorite, and then he would include James and Kelly in the booth, our producer and associate producer. They like when other people say mean things about me because I say mean things to them all the time. So it's fair, I guess, but not really. So, yeah, they collect these over several weeks, and then I get to read them. They're called mean tweets. People say mean crap about me on the internet and on the Twitter and account, and James thinks it's funny, so he collects them. And then I get to read them. And they really kind of fall into two categories. If you didn't know, by the way, great news aside from the mean tweets. I just found out in a meeting this morning we had our 3 millionth high school student graduate from Dave Ramsey's Foundations in Personal Finance. 3 million high school students have now been through that. 1 in 3 high schools. 34% of the high schools in America are teaching this curriculum. Consequently, there are a lot of students sitting in class that are supposed to be studying, but no, they are tweeting about Dave. I found this out the hard way years ago. This kid tweeted something, and I just ripped her, man. I went back at her. I thought it was a full-grown woman, and I thought, you test pilot for a broom factory, I'm getting after you, And then I found out it's this 14-year-old kid, man, and I turned all my Twitter followers. 700,000 people are pouncing on this poor kid, and I had to go back on there. Hey, it's a kid. I found out later. Back off of her. Don't kill her. I'm sorry I turned you loose on her. So we have students' mean tweets, and then we have old people mean tweets. I was going to say adults, but I'm not sure, based on some of these tweets, that's the case. So talking about emotional intelligence. Anyway. All right. So John, who is a teacher, tweeted, student just said in class, you know, Dave Ramsey wears the same thing in every video. You'd think he could afford more than one shirt. Yes, that's been said before. Yeah. Jake tweeted, I will not let Dave Ramsey ruin my attitude for the rest of the day. Good for you, Jake. Oh, Emily tweeted, I wish someone looked at me like Miss Shoemaker looks at Dave Ramsey. Whoa, teacher crush. Rebecca, I hate doing Dave Ramsey stuff in class. I get it. I'm 18. I'm poor. Cameron says, I'm tired of Dave Ramsey always telling me how to live my life. Well, there you go, Cameron. It's been happening a long time. Babyflex. Now, there's a Twitter handle for you. I'm a little scared about what that might mean from a teenager. Dave Ramsey runs a get-rich-quick scheme. Thank you, Babyflex. No, run a get-rich-slow scheme. Emma said, I'd like to thank Dave Ramsey, not only for his shameless sexism, but also for his ignorance of white privilege and socioeconomic disparity. This from a kid that's a teenager with an iPhone in her hand. Yeah. Which makes you a dadgum expert on socioeconomic disparity. Okay. Quay says, hate you, Dave Ramsey, but I love you at the same time, homeboy. Okay. You got it, Quay. Caitlin says, what high school student wants to watch Dave Ramsey the rest of the week at school? Taylor says, watching a Dave Ramsey video, and to be honest, it was scarier than a church service. I don't know where you're going to church, dude, but that's scary. All right. Other mean tweets from old people, not students. Mike, mission accomplished. Dave Ramsey blocked me, which means I don't have to read his pulp on entitlements when you guys retweet it. Cool. That's good. Well, it would have been easier to just not follow me in the first place, doofus. Oh, Lord. Travis says, I hope Dave Ramsey burns in the deepest and darkest circle of hell. Well, there you go. Ow. I'm kind of warming up right now. Steve said, learning about Dave Ramsey is kind of terrifying. It's almost literally a religion based on wealth. No. It's a Christian who reads the Bible. M says, Dave Ramsey is the most annoying little bald man I've ever seen in my whole life. Little usually isn't something that people throw at me. They usually say big, but anyways, that's all good. Annoying, yeah, I get that one. Caleb says, I feel like Dave Ramsey just opens his closet and it's nothing but blue dress shirts, brown belts, and jeans. And maybe head polish. That's what my wife was saying this morning. She said, you need clothes. She didn't say anything about the head polish, though. Okay. That's funny. Shelby said, Jared and I listened to Dave Ramsey the whole way to Arizona, and we are pretty much now 70 years old. Yeah, it ages you. Like going light speed, you know. That's great. Grant, Dave Ramsey is like a bald Colonel Sanders with a country accent. Colonel Sanders had a country accent. Okay, yeah. Leanna said, Dave Ramsey has all the money in the world, but he's still wearing a blue cotton button-up from Walmart, some Wrangler jeans, and Crocs. Well, close. You know, it didn't come from Walmart, and I haven't worn my Crocs in a while, but I could get them back out, I guess. And Sierra says, Dave Ramsey, you are a savage. Yes, no doubt. There's your mean tweet segment for the Dave Ramsey Show. James's week is now made. He feels much better. He feels justified now. And he will continue to collect your craziness right before I block you. Yeah, it so tickles me so much. Twitter is such a dumb thing because, you know, it's like it's a voluntary thing. You select who you want to follow, and, you know, like, I don't want to follow some left-wing nut, you know? And so I don't follow left-wing nuts. I don't follow right-wing nuts, for that matter. But, I mean, I follow people that I want to know what they say. I don't follow people that when they say what I know they're going to say, it pisses me off. I don't get it that you people, what are you, masochistic? You're Twitter masochists. Yeah, that's what it is. You want to bring pain into your own life because it somehow gives you, I don't know, fulfillment or something. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, it's voluntary. Just don't follow. And so, but you know, so I just block the crap out of people, man. When they start this stuff, cussing like crazy, I just block them. I'm not reading that trash. Or just ripping me to shreds for no apparent reason. Why do I want to read? I don't want to read that. I'll just block. I'm not going to let you follow me.